Alright, you asked for it. Here you go. Empty Pockets Arcade parts. I don't know, I've lost track already, man. Let's have a look. And here's the curtains that I was talking to you about. Just a black screen. Open up the curtains and here you go, dude. Here you go. So, I mean, a lot has changed. Some hasn't changed. Like, I still have my Genesis, which is off right now, and my CRT. Got my Neo Geo 4-slot. Got my Street Fighter 2. Now my Street Fighter 2, I don't know if I told you, but it's no longer running the PC. It's actually running a Hyper Fighting PCB. And one thing I want to do is I want to replace the monitor on it because I've been doing some tube swaps like I told you. And I know this tube is getting tired, so it's time to switch it out. Got my KI1 over here. Obviously, everybody loves Killer Instinct 1. That's all original. Killer Instinct 2. Both of these machines were converted from Atari Radical Bikers, which was also a Midway game. And they make perfect Killer Instinct conversions. So with this one's running a PC, and it's running, all the fighting games, including KI1 as well. So I can do a comparison between the real thing and obviously, emulation. But I mean, to those people that don't know, this looks like an original, Killer Instinct 2, with a dedicated PCB, right? Definitely one of my nicest builds. I have pictures from when I started the restoration to now. This is by far my favorite. KI1 as well, but KI2 definitely turned out nice. My dedicated Mortal Kombat 1. I picked up a stool from eBay. I know, I'm sorry, some of the games are really loud. I hope you can hear me. And then I got my MK2, obviously classic. My MK3. And then obviously, my MK4. This was also a converted Radical Bikers cabinet. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This was a Mortal Kombat 2 that actually I picked up, and it had no side art. It had been laminated and stuff like that. The guy started the project and he never finished it. He wanted to convert it to MK2, but because I have an MK2 cabinet already, I restored it and I made it into a Mortal Kombat 4. So this was a complete restoration as well. I just replaced the monitor not too long ago. Still needs some fine tuning, but it looks pretty sweet though. And then of course I got my WrestleFest. Every time I post something for sale, like people see the machine in the background and they always want to, they always ask me if I want to sell it. Here's my Outrun, my prized possession. Of course, everybody loves Outrun. Right there, awesome game. Got my Afterburner as well. Quite a mission to buy this machine. When I went to pick it up with my buddy, I think I told you, I went through a major snowstorm. I had to replace the monitor because the monitor on this wasn't that great. I cleaned it all up. The only thing that doesn't work is the lock-on. And I contacted Ken Westerfield, who's still doing repairs at iRepairSega.com. He used to be a Sega technician way back in the day, and he knows how to fix these. So I got to send the PCB out for him to repair. He told me what needs to be replaced, but I feel more comfortable with him fixing it because it's very difficult to find a working Afterburner board. But the monitor turned out pretty gorgeous. Here's my Operation Wolf. Oh, by the way, here's my Stranger Things poster. Awesome. Got my Operation Wolf, obviously, that needs no introduction. Got my Operation Thunderbolt. And then I got my Lethal Enforcer. So this one I actually got from Victor, the retired operator who I helped, last year. And so this thing was actually a converted Area 51 with the Lethal Enforcers 2 board that unfortunately, didn't work, and we couldn't save. It had to be put down. The monitor's got a convergence issue, which I have to fix, but I haven't got around to it yet. But I restored this from scratch. Control panel is actually original. The bezel's original. The marquee's reproduction. The guns, unfortunately, are aftermarket. These buttons also aftermarket. But I cleaned up the whole entire front, added the bullets, holes like you see there. And the artwork is hard to see, but it's all original. Like, I touched it up and stuff. I didn't want to mess with it too much. But and I had to redo the CRT because it had an unworking monitor as well, and it looks pretty awesome. Like one of my favorite shooters. And then you come around here. I got my Pac-Man wall, and this is where I'm going to put my cocktail. I've got a cocktail coming down with the 60-in-1, so that's going to go here, and then I got to glue my Pac-Man back on because it fell. So I got to do that. But, you know, overall it looks pretty good. Here's my championship sprint that I just picked up recently. Monitor still has some issues. You can see like the black waves there up and down. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I have to pull it apart and see again. The guy that shipped me the marquee also goofed up. He sent me a replacement that I have to put back on. Like, it's got all these black spots. So, you know, but I did a whole complete restoration on this. I cleaned up the wheels, you know, did obviously the control panel overlay, cleaned up the whole entire cabinet. My buddy did, you know, the artwork, but I'm the one that cleaned it all up and stuff. So, you know, that's my my championship sprint. Like, definitely a lot of fun to play. My hard driving, which is awesome. Like I told you, like, this is one of the ones that I do love playing. Like, every time I got 15 minutes, I just get on this thing and I have a hell of a you know, of a time playing it. It's so awesome. Like, such well engineered, you know what I mean? Like, full force feedback, 4-speed shifter. You know, obviously the key, you got the clutch right down there, brake and pedal. You know, it actually feels like a real car. And then the monitor, like, check it out. Like, it's actually mounted at the top, but then it's got a mirror, and you can kind of see it that way, right? So very, very cool. You know, again, reproduction, you know, marquee, and then some custom artwork that Game On Graphics did for me. The cool thing is I ended up finding an original piece of NOS, like new old stock side art for this particular game, that I have in my storage room, and I have to get the guy to scan it so that, you know, I could you know, I could post it for other people that want to upgrade. There wasn't a lot of hard driving compacts made. There's not a lot left, so this is definitely, this came to me in pieces from a friend of mine that I bought for $500, and I spent about 2 months fixing it because it was just like all in pieces. But I'm pretty glad how it turned out. Here's my Hot Wheels collection. Looks absolutely insane. Every time I go to the dollar store to get something, I end up, you know, walking out of there with 5 or 6 of these things. And I started my 80s collection, so, you know, check it out. Like, you know, I think I'm missing like 2 or 3 cards from my 80s collection, but it's like, it's got some pretty cool ones, you know what I mean? So, and there's my van, my Pacifica van, pretty awesome. And then there's my Cruise in the World. I got to replace the marquee. I bought a reproduction marquee because this one's all cracked. I got to replace it. The monitor now's got a scrolling issue because, you know, that's what happens with these things. That's why I told you, I said I don't like turning these fucking things on because there's always something that fucks up. Luckily, the adjustment is just inside the coin door, and I could fix that shortly. My Cruising USA, the tube is getting tired. I got to replace it. It is a medium res tube. I don't have any. I'm going to have to actually put a standard res tube on it, you know, and I got to do some modifications to bring the monitor back to life. And then there's my Chase HQ, my beloved Chase HQ that I love, and there's my Continental Circuit, which I love as well. So that's it, buddy. That is an overview of my driving room right here. You got my Street Fighter, my Neo Geo, and then I got my all my Mortal Kombats, my Killer Instincts, my Midway roll is what I call. I love my Midway roll. And then you got the back wall there, and then there's my shooters, and that is my collection. So I have the cocktail going down here where the seat is. I do have to fit my Galligan here somewhere. I'm not sure how. And that's it. I'm out of room. There's room for nothing else. So I hope you enjoyed, buddy. Talk to you soon.